The PS Portal has been a much better seller than most people anticipated, but it has at least one major problem. This video is sponsored by Scry, more on them in a minute. A while back I made a video fixing 11 broken PS Portals, and one of the main issues I found were analog stick issues, specifically the sticks that will move like this, but not up and down. An analog stick should move back and forth, up and down, all around just like that, but on the PS Portal some of them can move like this, but not any other way. In that video, I showed what the major problem was with the analog stick. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to replace it with an upgraded analog stick. This is the new stick, and if we're gonna do all the work to get down to it, we might as well upgrade it with a Hall effect stick. Now this repair is something that if you have, a little bit of experience, you can totally do yourself, I think. Just have to be super careful not to mar up the plastic when we're doing this. But we need to pry up on this. Just like that. There we go. That's one side. We might as well replace both of these sticks while we're at it. There's that one. Now with those plastic pieces removed, we can remove these buttons right here. With those buttons removed, that reveals a screw here and a screw here. And then we need to also remove this screw and this screw. I'll be using a pH0 for that. With those removed, we can remove the back plate by prying up on it there and up on it here. There we go. It's got clips and adhesive. The adhesive parts are just right here, and I don't know that that's even to stick the back plate down. It might be for something else. Not totally sure. Now we need to remove this screw and this screw down here on each side. And after that, we'll be able to take off the white pieces on the fronts of this thing. Okay, now we flip it over and these just pop right off. Got some more clips holding these on, so you do have to pry pretty hard to get them off, but they just come off just like that. Now we're almost down to the analog sticks. We need to remove this little screw and that little screw, and then we can pull this plastic piece off, and then we're down to the stick. Okay, with those two screws removed, you can take off the plastic piece, take off the cap, and then we got one screw here, and that piece just comes off. We do need to remove or pull up on the locking tab so the ribbon cable can come loose. All right, with those two screws removed, this piece just slides right out. And then we just take the new one, slide the ribbon cable into that tab right there, or into the connector, close the locking tab, just like that. And we got two screws to screw it down. Now we can do the other side, and then we'll be done with that part of the repair.
Here at TronicsFix, we obviously believe in the power of fixing and cleaning, but one thing we don't want to overlook is the power of prevention. Nothing is better than a good, clean console with properly applied liquid metal. But even on those like-new consoles, you may want to keep those temperatures down and help prevent future heat-related problems. The people at Scry sent us their Arctic S PlayStation Slim Cooler. While skeptical due to the abundance of less than effective similar products on the market, we have been happy with the Arctic S. The smart thermal chip sensor integrated within the cooler is specifically designed to optimize the fan's performance and efficiency, speeding up the fan when it detects degrees higher than 50 degrees Celsius while slowing it down when it's below 49. The 4 hyperfluid fans with adaptive speed and noise based on temperature help keep the background noises as low as possible based upon need. The patented lamella design is form-fitting, attractive, and allows for maximum airflow without sacrificing any of your ports. In fact, they provide you a super speed 10 GB per second port to make up for the one it uses. So fix it, clean it, and help prevent it from overheating again with the Arctic S Cooler by Scry.
Now we can do the other side, and then we'll be done with that part of the repair. And once a stick has been replaced, you just need to make sure and put this plastic cover back on. Oops, before we do that, we need to make sure and put the thumbstick cap on. Then this plastic piece, there we go. Yeah, don't do that. That's not a good, that's a very bad thing. Could have very easily just broken the screen on this thing. Okay, now we can put these pieces back on. So one piece goes right here. One piece goes right here. There we go. Then the screw here and the screw down there go in. Now as I was putting these screws in, I'm realizing that these look exactly like the non-Hall effect analog sticks that I got. Let me show you. This is the Hall effect. This is the non-Hall effect, just the regular. I feel like they might be exactly the same on the inside. I think once I get this back together, let's take these apart and see if there's any difference, or if they're just labeling them as Hall effect when indeed they really aren't. I think they might be the same, but let's get this thing back together and see if these thumbsticks work first. Now we can put our back cover on. Got to make sure that these little arms right here go up here where they need to go. Go in there correctly. There we go. Yep, everything looks good. Now we can snap it all together. Obviously be very careful as you're pressing not to push on the screen part too much. Okay, now 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and then these plastic pieces go on and the buttons go on and we're done. Now we just have to make sure when we're putting these back on, this little piece goes up here and this piece goes down here, just like that. Kind of tricky to get it on there just right, but it won't fit on here unless it is, so. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's start this thing back up and see if it works now. And the good news is it looks like I didn't break the screen by dropping a metal screwdriver on it. That's always nice. The sticks feel good. All right, here we go. Left stick, good. Right stick, good. I don't know why I said that was the left stick. This is clearly my right hand. Right stick, good. Left stick, good. You can see how it moves up and down and back and forth. So, all good so far, but let's check out those analog sticks and see if we actually installed Hall effects or if they're just standard analog sticks. So on this side, we have the standard one. On this side, we have the Hall effect one. Let's open the standard one up first, see what it looks like on the inside. And I'm just kind of butcher these to get them open quickly because there's no way to take these apart and still keep them in good working condition. So I'm not going to waste my time trying. Although I can say this metal feels maybe a little bit less difficult than on the factory ones. Okay, so this is the inside of the standard analog stick. Okay, so this is interesting. The standard analog stick has Hall effect sensors. So these right here are the sensors, and these little metal pieces right here, when those little metal pieces pass those sensors, that's what tells the positioning of the analog stick. So let's take a look at these ones. So the standard ones, at least the ones I thought were standard, I actually bought a long time ago. And these Hall effect ones, the ones they've been advertising as Hall effects, I just bought recently. So let's see if there's any differences between them. It may be the case, and I guess it would make sense, that these Chinese suppliers are only making Hall effect sensors now. They might, they're probably, I wouldn't think they'd be cheaper to make, but I don't know, maybe. Okay, here we go. I think, there we go. Okay, now we can see the inside. Yep, and there we go. This is the inside of the Hall effect, or the ones advertised as Hall effect, and you can see it's the same thing. We've got little sensors right here, and that is definitely a Hall effect analog stick. So the great news is that the sensors we installed in this PS Portal are definitely Hall effect sensors. This is a pretty easy and cheap upgrade that you can probably do yourself if you have a little bit of electronics experience. And I would say based on the failure rate of these PS Portal analog sticks, the original ones, that a lot of people are going to be needing to do this. If you want to see the video where I fixed 11 of these broken PS Portals, you can see how many of them actually had analog stick problems in that video. I'll put a link for that up on your screen now so you can come hang out with me over there and check it out. Also, don't forget, if you want to try out the Arctic S cooler for your PS5, I'll put a link right in the description that'll take you right there. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.